Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Converted Podcast, the podcast about the guild on Aerie Peak Convert to Raid. With you as always is Salmisis the Shaman, Belschnickel the Priest, and Navox the Warrior. It's about to get real. Hey guys, welcome to episode 25 of the Converted Podcast. I am Belschnickel. With me I've got my awesome, fantabulous host, Navox and Sal. What's going on, guys? How you guys doing tonight?
Hey, in this episode, we have a new member meet and greet, converted shoutouts, and Belschnickel is finally going to meet his match with Daries.
Hold on a second. Sal, do you hear that?
What do I hear?
Wait, do you hear that now?
I do hear it.
It sounds like somebody's singing something.
I think somebody is.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sal. He got the candle. Happy birthday to you. That's awesome. He's got the candle going.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Sal. Sal had a birthday, everybody, man. This is fantastic. She's dinging.
Oh, y'all are so sweet.
That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't mean to cut you off, man, but we had to sneak that in there, man. We can't let that go, you know?
I didn't expect that at all.
So continue with your introduction, Sal. We don't want to throw you off your game.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I was just saying that Daries is here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
We're excited about that.
I'm really excited about having him on. And even though it's in the middle of the night for him, he's used to podcasting at like 5 in the morning or whatever he does. I don't know. So, real excited about that. Also, later on tonight, after the show, we're going to meet in Mumble for a new member meet and greet.
Yeah, Tori has that set up already. She's already got the room set up in Mumble. It's the third chat room down from the entry. So
Yeah, it's going to be good.
when you go into Mumble, it'll be the third channel down.
What's it
So
called?
it's called Meet and Greet. We'll be in there
well, that's
right
perfect.
after the show. Yeah.
Hard to miss that one.
You know, I know they do meet and greets about once a month or so, but
Yeah.
us being a part of it and doing it after the show and stuff like that, that was Sushi's idea. And thank you, Sushi. And I hope you show up for your idea thing that you did.
He better show up.
So, yeah.
Sal, loving the new
Probably
mic.
I got a new mic.
Is awesome.
Sal, you sound fantastic. I gotta say that. You sound
Yeah, you
amazing.
can't talk behind
thanks.
it. You got to just talk directly into it.
I got to talk directly, so I
There you
can't
go.
talk like this?
No.
It's got to be right here. Okay, I don't like the blue light.
Hey, the blue light's cool, man. This is the blue light special right here. We all got the same mic, which is funny.
Yep. So, hey,
Yeah.
I just want to say hey to the chat room and all of our listeners
Yes.
right now.
What's up,
How's
chat
it going,
room?
chat room?
Thanks for coming on,
Hey.
everybody. We appreciate it. We appreciate it big time.
Oh, look at all those wonderful people in the chat room. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So, Belle, what you
Aw.
been up to this week, man?
Sun's here.
This week, man, has been an absolutely crazy week. I'm coming down a little cold action, so I'm fighting through. I'm battling through, but I had a little bit of wasp fury, man, at the house, man. And that, let me break this down. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of the inside here, okay? I have no irrational fear of wasps. I was not stung as a kid on the playground between my thumb and index finger and left to bleed in the playground by myself. That never happened, okay? So over the last month or so, like once a week, every Sunday apparently is wasp day. You know what I mean? So I'll go in the bathroom, do my thing, brush my teeth, take a shower, whatever, and I'll look up at the ceiling and I'll see a wasp. Now normally, I take the wasp out, I got a little spray action, I kill it, I'll go about my merry way. But I was in the shower the other day, on last Sunday. I'm in the shower, I'm lathering up, I'm doing my thing,
I don't
taking
need
care of
that.
business. I'm feeling good. It's Sunday night, water's hot. And
Stop.
don't make me cough. And then all of a sudden, man, out of the corner of my eye, I see this wasp kind of come by. Now, my wife says I screamed. I think I want to say like I like man screeched. You know what I mean? It wasn't an all out scream. I called for the bottle, and everyone in the house knows what the bottle means. The bottle means get the killer stuff. You know what I mean? That stuff is an eradicator. So my wife kind of rolls the bottle on the ground.
Everyone
She rolls
in
it
your
towards
house, meaning your wife and your infant.
Pretty
child.
much, my wife and my
my
wife and my 2-year-old daughter.
Bathroom, rolling it in like a gas.
So she rolls in the thing, right? So I pick up the spray. Now I'm wet, I'm all lathered up. I'm out of the shower now, okay? And I'm AOEing the shower. All right, I'm spraying this stuff all over the place. It's foggy in there. I can barely see, but every now and then I see the little black thing flying around. So I finally get the thing, right? And it falls down to the ground, okay? and I look at that thing in the eye. It looks back at me. Its wing is still kind of shaking a little bit. Okay, and I say, listen, you tell your friends, you come back in my house, we're gonna have some serious problems.
That's the Paragon's
And
fight right
ever since that day, man, I've been wasp free. Now I may have had a guy come over and spray the attic and spray the vents, but I want to believe that it was my mean look, man, the Belschnickel look that's got my house wasp free for a couple of days. But that was pretty crazy, man. Like that's been my week, man. Just getting attacked. Imagine the terror, man, of being in the shower and having a wasp in there, man. That's not cool.
It's Florida, though.
Yeah, man. I can't get down like that.
It's your fault for living in a swamp.
Wow, I wouldn't call it a swamp.
It's like a wasp or an alligator, one of the others on the ceiling.
I'll take the alligator. But no, but that happened this week, man. I've been raiding with the team. Had Sushi kind of filled in for us last week. We were down a guy. It's always fun raiding with Sushi, man. He's always bringing the deeps. And he got a little tank action going too, which was nice.
Hey, bro. I'll
Sushi's kind of chill, man. He's like a laid back, but he kind of like gives you that nice, relaxing. Let's just sit back and chill out.
Here's how it's gonna happen, man. No, it's all good.
Yeah, man.
He's got a deeper voice than that.
Yeah, you gotta have to take it down a couple notches if you're gonna do Sushi. But you had a little bit of the Sushi vibe. So I've been doing that, man. Raid team got Thok last week. They waited to the last pull, but that's how we do it, man. Last pullers for the win. But that was fun, man. And just I got the two piece on the priest. Get a little crit action going. So it's been a good week, man. Other than the attack by the wasp and the little cold action, it's been good. It's been good. Can't complain. What about you, Sal? What have you been up to?
Well, I got to run the Salad Senate this past week, and we just worked on Garrosh, and we just got our faces pounded in by Garrosh, right? But it was the most fun raid ever because, I don't know, like everything Megacode was saying, like everyone else was taking some kind of double entendre meaning to everything. And it ended up being a little bit rude, which was fine, but we always forget that we stream.
Mm-hmm.
And it got a little bit like not family friendly. Usually we're pretty tame like that. Like we get little jokes, whatever, but it's okay. But it got a little bit.
Mature filter on.
Just put the mature filter on?
Yeah, put the mature filter on Twitch and you're all set. You can go.
Oh, I wasn't worried about that. I was just looking over and like there was people laughing in their chat channel and I was like, oh, we're streaming and people were just like,
yeah.
I'm just like crying. I'm laughing so much because I guess it was funny, but yeah, that was fun. Yeah, we didn't get Grosh down this week, but I look forward to this next week. But it's it's just so much fun raiding with your friends.
Yeah,
just so much fun. And I've actually had a kind of a weird last week. Like about a week ago, I was in this terrible, no good, rotten mood, right, for no real good reason at all. And then I got on Skype with Belschnickel, and he had me laughing and feeling better like really quickly. So that was one of the highlights of my week.
Well, and Sal's usually in a good mood, man. Sal's like, I'm in a bad mood. I don't even know why. And I'm like, that happens. It's all right, But
New York.
Yeah, but if you're ever in a bad, I was cold and the heat wasn't working.
Yeah.
And I was just like, everything's so cold. But anyway, I get on the Skype. If you're in a bad mood and need cheering up, y'all need to get on Skype with Belschnickel because he will take care of that. Tell you some jokes or whatever.
Or I'll just cough in your ear.
So, yeah, you're sick. Oh,
I'm fighting, man. I'm fighting. I was at work today. I almost left. I've been working where I'm at now. I've been there for 7 years. I've never had a sick day. So this morning I wasn't feeling good. I went in there and I showed up, but I had every intention of showing up, keeping my record intact and probably leaving. But I ended up working the whole day. But it's all good, man. It's all good. Nav, what have you been up to, man? How you been doing, dude?
I mean, I had a pretty busy week last week, in game and out of game. So in game, I'm leveling up a Brewmaster monk. Terrible. I'm like I said, I'm terrible at playing a Brewmaster, but I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm.
I finally figured out how to get my defensive cooldowns ahead of the boss, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was spending time with Starlin, my wife, last week. We were going out to the Timeless Isle, and Catacodex messages me and says, "Hey, we need a tank." I was like, "Great." I don't have a tank because I'm already saved this week. She's like, "We're only doing the first 4 bosses of normal. Come on." And I'm like, my Brewmaster's only 502, and I'm spending time with Starlin. She's like, "Well, bring her along." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, she's never done a raid before. Never done a raid before. So
what kind of gear did she have?
She's item level 409, just a little low. But she managed to stay alive longer than I did, and she just stayed out of puddles, and Rex walked her through the entire thing. and we had to get out after that because there was no way we were doing protectors at all. We were just going to hold that group back. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. She had a lot of fun. I got the Rex explained things better than you did. I was like, well, yeah, it's okay because I've never done a raid before, but I'll get her in another flex. Then the boats and
I gotta say
crew,
one thing. Number one, awesome, congrats on your wife in a raid. And number two,
awesome.
if you're gonna do it with anybody, Rex is the one to do it with. He's really patient and he's really good at explaining stuff. And we actually have him coming on in a few weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna
That'll
be
be awesome in a month, I guess. And I'm looking forward to that because he's gonna talk about the Rex Flex.
That's right.
The last chance Rex Flex. Yeah.
So then on Tuesday and Wednesday, the boats and hoses crew went in and were working on Iron Juggernaut. I think we have our strat down. We just need to have. We were down. I think we were down a person. I think we were down Hokey this week. And we just need our DPS. I think we have the strat down. I think we're going to get them this week. But other than that, I recorded a new Warrior podcast with Dunlock, Torage, Agathon, and Tangenstein from Tankspot called Commanding Shout.
I saw that on Twitter, man. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be out shortly. Yeah,
Commanding Shout. That's a cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's about it. Other than messaging you this afternoon where I forgot my... I went to go work out and I forgot my earbuds. Let me tell you guys, if you're working out and you don't have tunes, oh my God, it's not even worth going to the gym.
That was really weird because I looked at my phone and I was like, wow, Navix is really freaking out about something. What's going on? He left his earbuds at home?
Sal, I was telling Nav, I have sat in my car in front of the gym, gotten ready to go inside, looked around for my headphones, didn't find them, turned my car back on and went home.
Yeah.
Working out without earphones it's futile. It's silly.
Yeah.
You look around, everyone's doing their thing, they're having a good time, and you're staring at the TV. I mean, you're looking at the sports, and you're just like, that's cool and all, but I can't hear it. It's just not cool.
I can't get in the mood to lift weights. You're lifting weights, you're just like, oh.
Yeah, you're doing 4 or 5 reps, and you're ready to stop.
Yeah.
Yawn. So next,
oh, boo.
we're gonna go ahead and bring Iron Council member Daries on, coming on to Converted. So give us a little bit of time to get him on, and we'll be right back.
Very good, very good. Let's get him in here. Mr.
Hello.
Daries.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Can you hear us?
Welcome to Nighttime Rating. Not rating. Nighttime
rating.
podcasting.
If you guys see the bags under his eyes, it's because he was up all night celebrating the Seahawks victory, apparently.
Yeah. Or just, listening to people setting off fireworks in the street.
Well, listen, everybody, we got Daries. Everybody knows the main man, Daries, and we're here today to squash the rumors, man. Daries right now, sometimes people think about Daries, they think of like grumpy pants or get off my lawn kind of guy, but Daries is a friendly guy, man. We met Daries at BlizzCon, and don't let him fool you, man. This guy is as cuddly as a teddy bear, man.
Don't tell people
it's
that.
over, man. We're killing the persona, man.
It totally happened when when I the first talked to you, Daries. Because I had seen you 100 times that's an exaggeration, but on the podcast, and we were talking, and I said, "Wait a minute, stop! Are you Daries?" And I didn't recognize because big smile. I'm like,
You're like, this guy's in a great mood.
That's me. Yeah. You got my name spelt wrong on the stream, by the way.
That's not cool, man. You know what? We'll remedy that situation eventually.
We'll fix it.
There's an I right before the R.
Who's did that? You know what? I blame Sal.
You know what? I don't know whose fault that is, but their initials are Belschnickel.
You know whose fault it was? Hang on,
This is the point where the superstar, the actor, just walks off the set. And
wait, I brought you the green M&Ms though. You said you wanted green M&Ms if you came on the show, and I got you green M&Ms.
No, I said no green M&Ms.
Oh,
hey, look.
None.
You just made it hey, look,
you know how you can make it up to me. Actually, can we just go back to the story of Belschnickel in the shower? That'll just fix the whole thing.
You know what, dude? That was an event, man. That was an experience, dude. When I looked up, man, and I saw that I had streaked this spray all over the ceiling, and it's literally dripping down. I don't think a wasp could survive in that bathroom, even if it wanted to at this point. The smell lasted for a couple days.
You're supposed to flip the shaving cream upside down, light it on fire, like James Bond.
Yeah. Hey, look, I see it spelled correctly. I don't know what you're talking about, by the way. I don't know.
I believe it. Okay, anyway, so we were at BlizzCon, like we said, and the last time we saw you, actually, Belschnickel did something terrible, terrible, where he totally dissed you and said he didn't want you on the show.
Yeah, I
at the
remember
BlizzCon.
that.
Yeah, see, I remember it kind of differently. I think it was something like we wanted you to come on because they had just dropped this mythic rating.
He was
bomb.
like stood there waiting to come on, like waiting against the wall, and you're like, you know what? No, and then you just closed the show and walked away.
Is that
and then
why
you came up to me after and you were like, "Oh, just kidding. We still have an hour left."
Wow. We ended the show
I
just to
went
not
back
have
to
you
my
on.
hotel that night and cried all night long.
Oh.
I heard you had been
Yes,
crying.
Zug and I, we bunked together. We shared the same bed. There were 2 beds in our room, but we
you-
shared the same one.
That's kind of cool, though. You know, it's a way to bond. You know, podcast hosts and stuff. You know, a podcast family that stays together. You know, stays together. That's kind of awkward, but
It worked out because, crying all night, and I was able to cuddle him, and, he
wow.
made
Well,
it
that's good.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Aww.
And then, it only took you, 6 months to get me back on the show?
But you're here, man, and we're excited. We're excited about that, dude. All right, so we know you're up in Seattle, man. Like I know you're from Mass. We got that kindred spirit, man. That Taxachusetts spirit, Red Sox Nation, the whole thing. But you're in Seattle now, dude. You guys won the Super Bowl. What's it like out there right now? What's happening over there?
It's a little rainy and cold.
Okay.
No, so Seattle fans are a little weird. I mean, they're crazy, the 12th man, all that kind of stuff. They're nuts. But I got to tell you, I was driving back last night, and there's probably 200 people on either side of the street. And when I'm driving home, it's a green light, and they're just yelling and cheering, but none of them will cross the street until that white sign flashes. Nobody in Seattle jaywalks, even though there's a horde of them. They're all just waiting for this thing to go, and then it goes, and they all cheer, and they run across, and they're high-fiving, and they're going crazy again. It's such a strange city sometimes.
So there was no cars being flipped
Opposite
over.
of New York.
No, the worst I think that happened was somebody in Greek Row up at the University of Washington lit a mattress on fire. So
Rebels, the rebels of Seattle.
yeah. It didn't help though that it started getting cold as the Super Bowl finished. I think right now it's 30 degrees outside, which is cold for how it's been. It's been in the 50s for a while, so I think that kind of pushed everyone back indoors.
In the 50s. It was a little bit colder here in New York. I was here, and you should have seen Times Square the night before. It was just like the throngs of people, blocking the street. They had whole sections of the city shut down without any traffic. You couldn't even walk in.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
We had that here in Seattle. When there's a big game, they shut down. It's kind of this old Seattle part. It's called Pioneer Square. It's where all the bars are that everyone goes to and everyone walks around. And when there's a big game, they shut off 5-6 square blocks around the whole thing and around the stadium. So it was the same kind of thing last night. But as soon as it emptied, there were cops on. This I didn't think it was a very smart idea. There were cops out riding horses. So. And they had made this decision beforehand, obviously, and had the Seahawks lost, and the cops were riding Broncos.
There would have been a bunch of hurt Broncos, hurt real life Broncos.
Yeah.
Aww.
Now, speaking of animals, you have quite a zoo, don't you? Every time we watch Convert to Raid, there's always cats. Oh, there we go.
Yes.
There's
Here we
one.
go. He's bothering me right now. Here, say
How
hi.
many cats do you have?
Yeah.
I just have 2. I have Red Sox and Fenway. Those are my cats.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That's the name of your cat?
Now,
Yeah, this is
Aw.
Red Sox, and his sister is the black one, and her name is Fenway.
That's awesome.
All right, you can
Aw.
go.
now I know this is a sad subject, but what's the deal with Sasha right now? What's going on there?
So Sasha is still back on the East Coast. I was actually all set to get her sent out here. I had gone through this courier service. I had found this great guy that was willing to drive her from the East Coast out here. He charged quite a bit, but it ended up being the best deal I could find, especially considering how far it was. And I was all set to pay him and everything. He had amazing reviews. He said, he was like, I've got this GPS device that'll always tell you where I am. You can call me. You can call the dog if you want, blah, blah. And I go to pay him, and he emails me. As I'm clicking submit payment, he emails me and is like, sorry, something come up for the next 3 weeks, so I can't bring the dog
Wow.
out. I have to
That's
cancel.
Oh, man.
That's brutal.
So I'm still
Jeez.
looking for some way to get the dog out here. Flying is not an option. She doesn't
Right.
crate well. I don't want to sedate her. And the whole flying logistic thing is just a mess with a dog her size. Driving out there would cost me an arm and a leg to drive there and back in gas
Yeah.
because I drive an SUV. So I'm looking for a courier or something, or if anyone in the CTR community, wants to make an extra couple $100.
Just drive your dog out there.
Yeah. Or
We
if
need to
they're
get
coming
Lou. We need to get Lou
Yeah,
with her
I've
with
tried.
the service dog thing, and we'll do a special operation. Go out there and get her and bring her.
Trust me, I've looked into everything. Looked into her as a service dog, using rescue groups to get her from one spot to the next. But it's such a logistical nightmare. No one wants to take it on because I'm not technically rescuing the dog. Most groups are out. So,
Wow.
yeah, it is a pain getting your 70-pound husky across the country. Let me tell you.
Oh wow.
That's rough.
Oh, poor Sasha. She's staying
And she'd fit in so well here because everyone up here has a husky.
Oh,
This Seattle is such a dog town. It's the exact opposite of Boston, where you can't take a dog anywhere or do anything with a dog. You can't even live in most places with a dog. And here, just everybody has a dog. You go to any park or like hiking trail or even stores, and people have their dogs, and it's just amazing. And every time I see that, I miss her more. And I want to
That's
get her
rough,
out.
man.
it is rough.
Well, listen, man. We know that you've been on the Convert Trade show for a while. A lot of people don't know how that all started. How did you get involved with Pat, with Zug, and with everybody from Convert Trade? Like, how did everything start? Can you kind of give us some history, some backstory on that?
Sure. I've been listening to Convert to Raid since episode 1, or I guess the pilot, which is 0 or whatever it was. And I was digging it for quite a while, and then I found Zug's address, and I camped outside his house. This was more than a year ago. They put a call out for raiders saying, hey, we want to put together our own raid team, blah, blah, blah. And I was raiding with Exodus at the time, but I had some free time Sunday nights when they said they wanted to do it. So I applied, and I got on the raid team then. And I was helping Zug with a few things here and there. And I whispered him and said, hey, I'd love to help out more with the show. What can I do? And that's when we started doing CTR2. And then from there, it was when Solar had to go, Zug approached me and said, hey, we need a third host. Do you want to jump in and do CTR? I think I had been on once or twice before to fill in or as a guest. So I just jumped right into that, not knowing what I was getting myself into. So yeah, that's awesome. How it all started, and the rest, as they say, is history.
You fit in great, man. Definitely.
As far as you're on the show, but you remember the Iron Council. You're one of the leaders of our guild. Can you tell me kind of some of the behind the scenes stuff about what's going on, or how stuff goes on?
It's a lot of we use a messaging app for our phones. Jules, Zug, Solar, and I. And we also have them for our invite committee, our what do we call them? Our welcome committee.
Greeters?
The greeters. We have it for the officers. We have all these different groups, and it's just, it's incessant, the amount of messages and alerts that come through, because they all have their own groups in this app. And every time someone asks a question, there's 50 replies or all this other stuff. So it's just all hours of the day this thing's going off. But we use that for a lot of instant communication. We use the forums for more detailed posts or just kind of, writing things to get them logged. But it started when we first started the guild. It was basically the guys from the Asparagus Initiative had helped put it together, with a few of us just kind of, doing invites and things like that. But we honestly thought we were going to get at most 100 or 200 people. And boy, were we mistaken. So, after I think the third or fourth day, we were at 600 or 700 people. We're like, okay, this is way bigger than we thought it was going to be. So we started kind of throwing things together really quickly. We started off with the invite process. We were using Engine for the old Convert to Raid site, and that was breaking constantly.
Yeah.
So then we swapped to a system that I had written in Google Docs, and we thought, if we get 500, 1,000 people, this will be fine. But then that turned into way more. So Google Docs was constantly breaking. So then I wrote our own system that's fully database driven for handling invites and tracking people's alts and all this other kind of stuff. So that's just one of the many tools we use on the back end to manage all this stuff.
Wow.
from an Iron Council side, because there's so much we have to keep track of, and just make sure we stay on top of things. But yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it's crazy, when big things happen. For the most part, the guild is pretty well behaved, though. Um, so it's not too bad. But managing, 7,000 tunes, and I think we're up to 6,000 individual accounts now.
Wow.
Wow.
I haven't checked in a couple months.
So when you're not playing WoW and you're not doing stuff with the guild, what do you do outside of game? What do you do to relax? What do you do, in general?
Oh, there's time outside of WoW. Oh, geez. Someone forgot to tell me that. No, I play probably too much soccer when I'm not playing WoW. When I'm not in-game raiding, and I've actually cut back my raiding significantly since leaving Vodka and Exodus. I think I really only do the Asparagus Initiative now Sunday nights, and I'm playing soccer 4 nights a week.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, but I'm digging it. It's, keeps me in shape, keeps me active.
4 nights
so.
a week. That's awesome.
You got to be in
Wow.
shape to play soccer.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I love soccer, and the thing with when I was back on the East Coast, it was a little tough to find soccer more than 1 night a week, or kind of find soccer that fits your schedule or whatever. But out here in Seattle, this is a soccer crazy city, and if you are a soccer fan and you like playing soccer, you almost have to try not to find a team every night. Like you get inundated with requests or people being like, "Hey, we play this night. You should come join us," or whatever. And when I first got here, I put out a couple feelers thinking it would be really hard to try to find a team. And within the first week I was playing 4 nights a week, and I was like, whoa, I need to stop. Like, I can't play every night here. My body
That's a lot.
revolts. So but I love it. I love I love that this city is so soccer crazy. So
Now
there's that, and playing a little bit of my Xbox One, playing soccer on my Xbox One. So
nice.
that's about it. I mean, there's just not much time for much else.
Now I had heard before that you were a teacher, but you're talking about like programming stuff. Are you like doing computer stuff now? We're teaching before, or what's going on with that?
Oh, so my day-to-day, I am a software engineer. That's what I do.
Okay.
For my daily job. In the summer, I usually take 3 weeks to about a month off, and I go teach.
Okay.
I teach for a program through Johns Hopkins University called Center for Talented Youth. And it's a program for students. It's gifted high school students anywhere from like 12 years old to 16 years old. And I basically teach them a college course in 3 weeks. And
wow.
they hold it
okay.
around the
Jeez.
They hold it around the country at a bunch of different schools. I've done one of the programs at the Johns Hopkins campus in Maryland. Last year, I was in Rhode Island at Roger Williams. I've done Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles. So it's all over the place. But yeah, it's I usually teach game theory and economics, or game theory and probability. And yeah, in 3 weeks, they're in class for 8 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yeah.
They probably enjoy it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of them enjoy it. Most of them want to be there. It's not like they're being forced to be there. Like some students can be in public schools. But it's a lot. Even myself, after the first week, 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, it's like, man, I'm sick of you guys already. So it's a lot of breaks, a lot of like going outside for 20 minutes at a time or swapping subjects and whatnot. But I love it. I think if I could pick again, I'd probably be a college professor.
So speaking of game theory, what are your thoughts on mythic raiding and the future of raiding in a guild of this size? Like, do you have any mythic plans set up?
So the Asparagus Initiative has talked of going mythic raiding. I know this is going to ruin the 4 hours a week joke, but we're talking of adding a second night and probably going 8 hours or so. And we'll pick up 10 more people and do mythic raiding and do a harder push. Since I've started playing a lot more soccer and cut back on my WoW raiding, I've actually liked the idea of not raiding so much. So looking to go back to like when I was with Exodus and Vodka, raiding 7 days a week. I don't think I'll ever do that again. But I'll definitely be doing mythic raiding in some way, shape, or form. I mean, the reason I play WoW is to kill heroic bosses or kill mythic bosses. So
Mythic. Okay, well here's a question. There's going to be people a couple people in our chat room that will have pretty strong opinions on this, and I get pinged about this a lot. I want to know your thoughts on
The grump.
I know it's coming.
Uh-oh, what?
10-man versus 25-man raids. Like a lot of people will never agree with me and will get arguing with me about it. I want to know where do you stand on 10 versus 25?
Do we really have to have this conversation knowing that they're both going away and Mythic rating is
That's
coming
actually
out?
a good point.
So I mean, look at it this way. It's not 15-man rating, it's 20-man rating. It's 5 less than 25-man. It's 10 more than 10-man. Without too much reason why 25-man is harder than 10-man. So, we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Boo. I'm going to boo that answer.
It's been all over Twitter these past.
Well, it's almost like
every
saying
time
which is better, chocolate or vanilla. I don't think you'll ever get anybody to really agree on that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's purely subjective. It's purely subjective.
I was thinking about it today at work. Like, you might get 2 10-man raid teams that are kind of progressing the same, and maybe hook up one evening and go, "Hey, why don't we combine the 2 raid teams and go do Mythic?" Something like that. I don't know how. I know you have to build a team around that, but there's also going to be,
But Mythic is going to be significantly harder, though.
Well,
right? That's what I'm hearing, right?
But if you have 2, you're going to have 2 tanks in each raid. If 2 tanks can roll DPS and pull significantly high numbers in DPS, they can, I don't know. We'll see how it works out. I don't necessarily know. We're going to have to build out, like right now we raid 10 man. So if we want to do Mythic, we have to get 10 more people. Now that's you don't want to poach from other raid teams, things like that. But we'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
It'll be interesting.
Alrighty. Let's see. We were talking about rating still. Like you have rated at super high levels, right? How do you feel like bouncing into casual rating? Like, how do you go back to it?
It's a little tough. I think the hardest for me was when I was doing, when I was raiding with Exodus and we were doing an example. We had just killed Protectors of the Endless in Toes. And we just killed it. It was a world 3rd kill on that. And then I think 12 hours later, I was raiding with the Asparagus Initiative, and we were still like clearing Mogushan vaults on normal.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little difficult because it went from this, from heroic top tier rating to we're still struggling with bosses that I had killed weeks ago. So things like that was a little difficult, but I think what made it easier was the fact that I was raiding on my priest with Exodus, and I was raiding on my druid with the Asparagus Initiative. So it was a completely different. I was healing in one and I was tanking in the other. So it was completely different. I was learning things from the other side. But it allowed me to come in with 12, 16, 20 hours of practice on a boss and experience, and be able to say, guys, this is what works. Trust me, I've been wiping for 20 hours on this boss.
Right.
This strat doesn't work. This is what does work. This is the experience that I had. But going from something like that to going to more casual was difficult for me because I enjoyed that, and I still enjoy that high level of play. That's not to say the guys in the Asparagus Initiative are bad or casual or whatever. It was just a slower rate of progression because we were new. We only did 4 hours a week. We only do 4 hours a week. Things have gotten a lot better in Asparagus Initiative. We got some really great people in there, but it still is more casual than a world first guild. But it's it wasn't awful. Well, it didn't make me not want to play because I was still killing bosses, and it was the people that were in there, the other raiders, that made it fun.
Now, let me ask you a question. Something that came up with our raid team recently. We're consistently downing. Whenever we go in and kill normal mode, we can get Garrosh down. But now we're banging our heads against, Iron Juggernaut on heroic. I think we'll get him down this week, whatnot. But if we don't get him down on the second night, we do heroics. We concentrate on heroics one night. On the second night, there's some folks that want to go get heirlooms. Now, what are your thoughts on the heirloom weapons versus full-time heroic? Should a raid team concentrate on, if you're concentrating on heroics, should they still concentrate on heroics, all week, or should you actually move on if you're banging your head against a boss, go on a garage and get a chance for that heirloom item if that's
We talked about this last week on the show on Convert to Raid.
Yeah.
If there is gear, serious gear, I'm talking weapons and trinkets that members of your raid don't have. If they only have the flex version, or God forbid they have the previous tiers, you need to be clearing. You need to be getting that gear. Every piece of gear is going to help you that much more, especially on a fight where Iron Juggernaut is pretty unforgiving on heroic if you don't overgear it. If you're only talking normal weapons or even warforged weapons to heirlooms, then I wouldn't spend that much time on it. But what's the kill of Garrosh? I mean, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. Get an alt saved up to Garrosh. Get them an alt that you don't play. Get them saved to Garrosh, and then every week on your last raid night, have that alt reform the group. Everyone goes in, the alt drops. You go back in on your main, and now everyone's at Garrosh. Even if you're only up to Iron Juggernaut and you're stuck there, if you don't need any gear between Iron Juggernaut and Garrosh, just kill Garrosh. It takes 10 minutes at the end of the night. Kill him, get a chance for the heirlooms, get a chance for Warforged trinkets, all that kind of stuff. I think people seem to forget the fact that you can save alts to bosses. And it saves you, especially in a raid instance where there's 14 bosses. It saves you 3 hours of, killing bosses and trash. But yeah, that's a big thing. Especially if you've got raiders that have flex versions or LFR versions of weapons from Garrosh, go and do that. Spend those 10 minutes and do that and get it. Even with the trash, you're looking at 20 minutes at most, but it's worth it.
Alrighty. So let me ask the chat room, if you have any questions for Daries right now, get them in, and we'll shoot Daries some questions real quick.
In the meantime, though, I'd like to know what recently something kind of weird happened, and that had to do with smooth ping. And I know you talked about it on the show, on the CTR show, and we talked about this a little bit before. Could you let us know how you were involved in that?
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago, Blizzard had that massive ban wave. They banned about 500,000 accounts, or that's the rumor. And we had a bunch of people that I knew were banned. But I have 2 WoW accounts. I have one that has my priest and a bunch of other 90s, one that has my druid and a bunch of other 90s on it. And my second account, the one with my druid, was banned. I do use smooth ping because my latency here is terrible. And our server happens to be in New York, so I try to get the best ping possible. So I used smooth ping, and I was banned. That account had my druid, my hunter, and my monk on it, and about 100k gold. And I have been trying for the last 2 weeks, opening tickets and emailing people to get it unbanned, and it has not. Now, everyone else I know that used smooth ping, or most everyone else I know, there's a few that have been unbanned. And yeah, so if you don't see Grandpa sign on, that's why.
That's horrible.
That account is still banned. I can't even get the name back to level another druid named Grandpa. So right now I am at a loss. I still have, I think, 5 90s that are all on my main account, which haven't been touched. But the thing that bothers me the most is the fact that I only play that account 4 nights a week when I raid for the Asparagus Initiative. I don't play it any other time. And my main account, I was playing constantly to try to level my rogue and finish leveling my rogue like I was talking about on the show. And that account is fine. So I don't understand how that can work, how one account can be banned but the other can't. So
now you've got open tickets on that and just waiting to hear back? Or?
At this point, every ticket I open gets immediately closed with no response whatsoever. Just a blank description.
Really?
You're gonna have to get somebody on the phone.
Closed?
That's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, within about a half hour of being opened, it is closed with a blank description.
Wow.
So is Blizzard not planning on addressing that stuff, or what?
It looks like they're not going to. They're only the only way they addressed it as a whole was a short blue post by Lore, basically saying, "Yeah, we banned a bunch of people. That's it."
If somebody banned my account, because I only have one account, if somebody banned my account with my 90 on it, I'd almost quit the game.
I
mean, like, honestly,
I
like,
want to re-level.
We're in a great community, and I would probably, that would make me, if I wasn't in a community like this, I'd probably just quit the game. Like, I'm not going to re-level a tune to 90, get the cloak again, get all that stuff again. That's ridiculous.
I I have barely logged in the last 2 weeks because every time I do, I get angry at what I've lost, the hours I've lost, the time, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And you can ask the other guys on Asparagus Initiative. I've been talking about it and saying that I think I thought about quitting. I thought about quitting until Warlords. It's hard to log in and know that hundreds of hours have just been deleted with no reasoning whatsoever. No, this is what you did, or
Or we'll look into it.
Nothing at all. No reason whatsoever that they want to give me other than, you are banned. It's infuriating. It's frustrating.
That seems so un-Blizzard. I mean, to me, that just seems so un-Blizzard.
I think that's one of the things that bothers me the most about it is they claim that they're all about the community, they're all about communication, they're all about being open and accessible, and then when something like this happens, they shut down. They don't give any kind of information. They don't seem to care at all. I mean, the fact that they're just closing tickets out without even reading them at this point, no description whatsoever, is just,
it's kind of rude.
It feels betrayed by a friend. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, I mean, maybe that's something they're doing now, and then later on the line, they'll kind of review, maybe they are reviewing them on a case-by-case basis, but they're not. I don't know. I don't know. It just it doesn't seem like it's way out of character for what you would expect from a company like Blizzard. So hopefully they'll do something. I mean, I'd
just like to know if I did do something wrong, if it was smooth ping or something, something else. I mean, I just built a new machine, maybe logging in multiple IPs through smooth ping and then different MAC addresses. They thought I was a botter or something. I mean, just any information whatsoever. Just give it to me, but nothing at all. It's just you are banned. You violated the terms of service. That's it.
But wow. I mean, smooth ping doesn't go against the terms of service.
No, and that's the thing is so both of my accounts use the same login. They're both linked under the same Battle.net account. They're
the same authenticator.
Fine. Yeah, same everything. So if I'm using smooth ping on one, you'd think the other would be banned as well, and it's not. Or if I was botting or had bots on my computer or whatever, they would both be banned, but they're not. Only one is, so I don't get it.
Seems almost kind of random.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my guess.
Well, you did just move to. I don't know enough about smooth ping how it works, but you did just move. So I'm wondering if if they are just picking it up that you're on the other side of the country now. That I don't know because I know.
I could definitely see it looking suspicious going from an IP in Boston to an IP in Seattle to a couple days later an IP that's smooth ping across multiple accounts and all that kind of stuff, and I'm logging into the authenticator with my home IP, so then that looks like it's Seattle again. That would look suspicious, but you'd think that would be easy to sort through if somebody
There's
actually
plenty of people who travel and play from hotel rooms and
I will tell you I will tell you that I've had the best customer service. They have a chat service now online that you can go out there and do the chat service. I've had the best customer service around noon Eastern through the chat service because I was talking to a Texas they have a help desk set up in Texas that answers a lot of those. And I have really good customer service from there. So I don't know if you'd want to call them or open up a chat session with them or something like that.
Can't call anymore,
they tell you every time. Yeah, you can't call anymore, but they also tell you every ticket you open or every time you go to find information on appealing it, do not call us. Do not open a chat. Nobody will help you. Nobody can help you in those regards.
Wow,
it has to be via email.
Have you tried tweeting customer service?
Yeah, I've tried that, and I've tried some convert to raid host connections as well, and gotten nowhere.
Nothing. So. Well, keep us updated, man. Hopefully that changes. I mean, that's horrible. I mean, like I said, I don't even know. I mean, you got other tunes and stuff you play with, but I only got one tune that I raid with. You know what I mean? And that's devastating. We got a couple questions.
Where's all the bat guano going?
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe that's the whole thing. Blizzard is trying to keep all the bat guano for themselves. So that's what it is. They're jealous of my bat guano empire.
Aw.
We got a couple questions in the chat room. Catacodex asks, "What role do you want to play in Mythic? Healing, tanking, or DPSing? Since you do all three, do you have a decided yet or
that's
what?"
a good question. No, I haven't really decided. It depends on once the beta comes out and I get to mess around with the different classes and the changes, I'll know then much better what I want to do. Right now it's just hard to say because I don't know how they're going to play. It's going to end up coming down to what's going to feel the best. Especially if they implement the like the toy backpack and all that kind of stuff like they said they're going to the vanity items.
Yeah.
I won't have any much reason to play my priest anymore if all of my tunes all have access to the same stuff, because right now my priest has all the cool stuff on it. It has all the cool vanity items and toys and on use items, things like that. But if I can get all of those on all of my tunes, then I don't really have any reason to play my priest anymore. As my main, I can go to something else. So maybe I'll go to my paladin or something, or I'll level another druid, play that. Maybe I'll play my rogue. I don't know. It again just depends on how it feels in the warlords beta, and I'll know better then.
You would keep your priest your main because of toys?
That's one of the big reasons that it's
Well, and
still
priests are better.
I mean, I
everything.
have 9 years worth of vanity items in there. Some
Wow.
really cool stuff.
Well, tell us
that-
some of the gems. Like, what are your favorite ones? A couple of them.
Oh, God, I'm not even logged in right now, so I can't tell. I mean, I've got some TCG things that are fun, like it's called Fool's Gold. It throws down this pile of gold, and when you click on it, it spawns a mount for everyone or a pet for everyone. I've got this awesome thing called a hitching post, which you put it out and it has a horse attached to it, and you click on it, and everybody gets a pony they can ride around. Lots of things that make you look different. Oh God, if I was in game, I'd be able to look at them and look at the descriptions. I can't think of anything right now. But if I could get all of those on different tunes, because they're not things that you can go
Right.
farm. Some of these things are, out of the game altogether. I've got a haunted memento still, from that's like the BC or Wrath launch event BC. It's got a little ghost that follows you around
Yeah.
constantly as long as the thing's in your bags, stuff like that. So, but yeah, if I could get all of those on a different tune, I mean, I was digging my paladin for a little while as a tank, so maybe I'd play paladin depending on how that felt. But we'll see.
We got one other question from the chat room from Doom Legend. So, Darius, how was the transition from normal to heroic rating, and was heroic rating your goal when you started playing WoW?
As soon as I started rating, I knew that I wanted to do heroic rating. I mean, in almost everything I do, I want to be doing is the best I possibly can. When I first started playing WoW, I actually didn't raid. I PvP'd. My first tune was a warlock, and I PvP'd exclusively on my warlock for almost a year. And then I got into a raid. Yeah, this was forever ago. I don't even play the warlock anymore. It's now relegated to bank alt.
Wow.
Oh,
But yeah, so once I first started, I got into a raid and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. And then I started getting into it and I was like, that's as soon as I got into it, that's when it clicked. Like it does everything else I do. And I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to give it 110%. And I pushed myself as hard as I could. Now, as far as the transition from, he said, transition from normals to heroics.
Right.
I don't think that's all that difficult. It's more of a logical progression. I mean, it wasn't so much back then, but I think now, if you're looking at it, it is, because Blizzard tends to ramp up bosses and they make the last one pretty difficult and the first one heroic pretty easy. So, the difficulty wise that way, it's not too bad. It's more the mentality, the thinking of, getting over, like I talk about on the show all the time, getting over the fact that you're going to wipe constantly.
right.
Or this is going to require time, dedication. For every hour, I mean, talking of a heroic world first rating with Vodka and Exodus, for every hour you put in rating, you're probably spending almost that amount of time theory crafting and researching and reading outside of the game to make sure that you're the best player. And it's just having that stuff click is what made it. It was probably the most difficult thing, just getting over that fact that, okay, I'm playing this game, but I'm also going to spend the same amount of time just thinking about the game.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a different type of rating. If right now, just looking at just kind of like heroic raiding with the Asparagus Initiative, where I think we're up to Iron Juggernaut as well, and looking at something like that. That's more of just at that point it's more just gear or less gear and more skill. So it's we've got the gear now, it's just skill, and then it's just the frustration, getting over the frustration of people making silly mistakes is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mostly
Okay,
mostly our tank Sharku, though. He's the one that tends to make the most mistakes.
Shots
For
fired.
this. I hope
You heard it here
listening to
first.
this.
That's awesome.
Exclavier wants to know what your favorite mount is. Of all the mounts you have.
Right now, and that's probably just because it's the new shiny. It's that iron whatever, the one they just released, the one you had to buy with the two heads and the rocket boosters on it and everything. I love that one. It's just mostly because it has two heads and rocket boosters. I mean, come on, that's awesome. If I had to pick a previous favorite mount, though, it's definitely the Sea Turtle. The Sea Turtle is my favorite mount. I got that years ago, just randomly fishing. I fished it up, and I love how slow it is on land and how it makes funny noises when you jump with it. I love the way it looks. I think it's a really cool mount.
That's awesome.
Aw, Sea Turtle.
Yeah,
It's kind of rare too.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Darius, are you playing any other games? I mean, I know you're pretty busy. Do you play like League of Legends or Hearthstone or StarCraft, anything like that?
I played a lot of Hearthstone like months and months and months ago when it was closed beta, and not many people were in it. But I stopped playing that for a while. I'm now really, really digging this game called PlanetSide 2. It's a first-person shooter. It's free to play.
Okay.
I've been playing it with a bunch of the guys from Asparagus Initiative, and really digging that. As far as normal games, I mean, basically whatever hot game comes out, I'm playing. Whether it's on the Xbox or PlayStation or whatever. I'm playing FIFA right now on my Xbox One. I'm trying to finish a game on my PlayStation 3. I know, old, but it's called Beyond Two Souls. It's got features Willem Dafoe in it and everything. It's a fun game.
Cool.
But no, I mean, I'm a geek. I'm a sucker for video games. So
aren't we all, bro? It's awesome.
Yep.
PlanetSide 2, I found it a little bit hard to get started in that. Like, as a new player.
I dig. I mean, it is a little overwhelming, and there's a lot of buttons to click. But one of the things I really like is the fact that from the moment you hit go, you are competitive with everyone else. As far as a free-to-play first-person shooter, your weapon is still gonna, do as much damage as just about every other weapon in the game, which is fun. But there are a lot of MMO elements where you're leveling up different things and spending resources to make yourself better. But it's mostly the fact that I'm playing it with a bunch of cool guys that make it interesting. That's really what makes any game interesting.
I guess when I started playing it, I would just like walk out and then be dead. And there's just all these people camping at the starting area or wherever it is.
Yeah, a lot of the spawns there are, if the other team has kind of taken over control of a point and they're just waiting for the timer to finish so they have full control, they spawn camp the whole time, just gaining XP, and there's not much you can do about it. That's a little frustrating, but that's the point where, because the maps are just so large, that'll just go someplace else.
Oh well.
No,
well, hey, do you have anything? Well, I guess we said anything to like pimp or anything to announce. Like, you've got Convert to Raid 2 happening. What's happening with that?
You should probably ask Zug that question. I am not the man to ask there. I think we had mentioned it on the podcast possibly, but we might not be doing class guides this go round because it's just better to do that as a visual kind of thing. Conveying a lot of that stuff via audio is a little bit difficult, but I think we're looking at other ways to do that and to get that information across. As far as other shows, no, this is pretty much it. Convert to Raid is enough. It ruins enough of my weekend as is.
Aw.
There comes the grumpy.
Oh, grumpy.
Yeah.
Well,
you wake up Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. and have someone read a terrible fortune cookie to you. All right. You'd be grumpy too.
Are they that bad?
Oh, they're awful. Do you not listen to the show, Sal?
There's some that are actually really good, and there's some that are pretty awful. But
They
for the
are.
most part, but there's some that are actually pretty epic.
I completely disagree with you.
He said.
And it's weird because recently Bad Grandpa came out on DVD, and so you get to hear his voice because he did all the DVD
Yeah.
voiceover
Yeah.
stuff too. I don't know if you heard that. But,
No, if I just want to hear his voice and make it worse, I just call him up. So
Okay, well, Daries, thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate your time.
yeah, it was
And,
great talking with you guys, and hopefully you guys can have me on more than once every 10,000 episodes. What episode are you guys up to now?
It's only 25, man.
Oh wow, man.
We're still new, man. But I tell you what, man.
Maybe next BlizzCon you won't snub me so hard.
Next BlizzCon,
yeah, it
man,
was
we're gonna get you
pretty
up there,
terrible,
man. You're
mostly.
gonna be up there with us, man, having a good time.
I don't know if I'm gonna agree to it next BlizzCon. Maybe I'll do the same to you. I'll say I'll come, but then I won't show up.
You could snub us. I mean, it wouldn't be that cool, but you could do
all
it.
the photo. We need the photo bombs.
You
All
did
the
it to
photo
me.
bombs.
So.
I tell
do
you
you
what,
guys
man. Oh, go ahead.
Do you guys think there will be a BlizzCon this year?
I hope so.
I really hope
That's a good
so.
question.
I wouldn't be
I've
shocked
never
if there
been to one,
wasn't,
so I'd love to go.
but I hope so.
Well, I mean, it was who was it? Like Morheim said he thought it was a mistake not to have had one, but he didn't say there's going to be one, and
Yeah.
they don't have anything huge to really announce. I don't
Yeah.
think.
Right, because
So-
Warlords would be
they
out.
could-
Heart of the
Warlords
Storm.
would be out.
Would Heroes of the Storm be out?
So that's the only real thing. So the Diablo expansion will be out and will be 9 months old. Warlords of Draenor will be out and be
A
3
few
or
months
4
old.
months old. There won't be any talk of StarCraft because the expansion is too far off. The only thing would be Heroes of the Storm. And they haven't even opened that to a public beta, so that's not coming out this year.
Is that Project Titan completely dead?
No, that I mean
Maybe
not
something about that.
maybe, but that's not in its current state. That's not big enough to hold its own BlizzCon. So
No.
yeah,
Well,
that would.
Vegas,
you know,
man.
as much
CTR
fun as
Vegas.
we
If there's no
had-
BlizzCon,
Oh yeah, who's gonna play
CTR
that?
Vegas.
talk to Zug, man. Let's plan something.
Not
Oh,
planning
yeah.
that, but I'll go. Sure.
Yeah, logistics
Yeah.
or something like that. Like everyone show up in Vegas.
Just show
I mean,
up. Yeah,
that'd be
we'll
so
just
fun.
show up.
There we go.
I will say Vegas would be cheaper than going to BlizzCon,
do-
unless you gamble.
I do recall Zug saying something about being able to fund a CTR BlizzCon party or Las Vegas.
Oh,
Well, that'd be
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
cool,
he
like
said
for
he
everybody
paid
to
for
go.
everyone. Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be kind of nice.
I
You
mean,
heard it here first.
Everybody tweet Zug. Talk to him. Get the details out of him. But
All expense
that's what he
paid.
told me. Yep.
I like that.
Awesome.
okay. So Zug's gonna fund a trip to Vegas if there's no BlizzCon. So
Okay.
there we go.
Very good.
You heard it here first, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
heard it here first. Yeah. There you go.
I'm just looking at the chat room, like watching for his.
It's because they haven't heard it yet. This delay is
Response,
amazing.
It'll explode.
Darius, just I want you to know, man, we are not gonna rest here on the converted until you get your grandpa back, man. That's bugging me, dude. It's actually bugging me.
Yeah.
You know. So people are tweeting the big shots and stuff. So it's who knows? Maybe we'll get the rally cry from Convert to Raid to get your stuff back, man.
I saw that. Thanks.
Yeah, everyone is. Well, yeah, and
Free
the chat
grandpa.
room is pretty sad about that. You know, they started
Everyone's
a little
like-
hashtag.
Everyone's like, "Thanks, Zug. Zug is the man." Zug, do you want my address now?
Zug, yeah,
I only
Zug.
fly first class. Somebody put in the chat room. Bless you, Zug.
Alrighty, well, thanks so much for coming on, Darius. We really appreciate you.
Thanks, Daries.
Thanks,
All right,
Darius.
thanks for having me, guys. Have a good night.
All right, man. You too. Take care. Bye bye. That was fun.
Yay!
That was cool. Everyone in
we
the chat.
go.
Everyone in the chat room's like, "Zug, you're the man." Wouldn't it be nice to be that rich, man? That'd be sweet. That cost a couple bucks though. There's like what 6,000 people in our guild.
Vegas isn't that bad. Yeah, I went back in July of 07. It wasn't that bad going out there. But
Well, hey, maybe now dig into those deep pockets.
Honestly, a trip to Vegas is a lot cheaper than a trip to California BlizzCon. But just the logistics and planning something like that would just be
That's pretty intense.
wow.
That's pretty
Yeah.
intense. Hey, we got a special video. Sal, want to tell everybody about that video? We can play that so people can check
Are you
that
gonna
out.
play it now?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
Oh,
you know,
wonderful.
why not?
Okay, so Tur Arts has sent in a video, and she says she's gonna do it every week, letting us know all about the guild events. So, Belsnickel, you're going to play the video.
I am.
And it's about 3 minutes long.
Mhm.
So here we go. She's going to let you know what's happening.
Hi guys, this is Turarts. I'm the head event planner with the CTR Guild, and I just have a few things I want to talk to you about real fast. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who participated or helped out in the anniversary. It was a lot of fun. I couldn't be happier with the way that it turned out. For the future events, we're going to be starting actually this month doing weekly world boss runs. What these are is just going and killing whatever of the 4 that are up between Nalak, Gundasta, Shaw, and Galleon. It's a great way to maybe get your alt some gear, get a chance at the mounts, but most importantly to get to know some guildies. These will be happening on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, kind of varied time. So the best way to find out about these is the CTRLFG channel. We'll also be doing weekly LFRs or flexes, depending on who's hosting it will depend on what we do. These will be on Mondays, the very time again. Once we get in a rhythm though, we'll be posting on the forums when you can find these at what times. But for right now, CTRLFG again is the best way to look for those. Coming up, we're going to be continuing our meet and greets. These are just a monthly thing that we do typically the first week of the month. It's a great way to be more on a personal level with an officer, get your questions answered, and also to get to know some guildies. There's one hosted tonight after they're converted, so if you want to come in, join us for that. It'll be a lot of fun. And then we'll do one in the beginning, the first weeks of March. Again, it's a lot of fun. Get to know some guildies. So come participate in one of those if you haven't already. We'll also be looking at doing some round tables towards the end of March. A great way to fill in between the lull between now and the next expansion. We'll be doing a healing one, which we just had a healing one done. It was excellent. A lot of information in there. If you haven't checked it out, head to the forums to find out where to listen to that at. We'll be doing healing again, a tank, a melee DPS, and a ranged DPS, assuming we get enough interest for people that want to host them. If you want to host them, what you can do is watch the forums. This week we'll be posting kind of a list of expectations. We'll probably have a questionnaire for you to fill it out, so make sure everyone's on the same page. So again, that'll be on the forums by the end of this week, and then we'll kind of get started with those. Other than that, we're kind of getting things kicked off with the new year. We'll be doing more PvP events, PvE events come March. Probably some things to help the guild, some mat gathering competitions to get the mats in the guild for the raiders. So a lot of fun things coming up. And again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always email me at ctrguildevents@gmail.com. Get a hold of me on the forums or Twitter. My name there is Turarts. That's Turarts. Also in game, I'm typically on Turarts as well. But yeah, we have a lot of fun things coming up. I'm very excited about that. Also, all of our events will always be posted on the forums. If you go to the Convert to Raid Guild Aerie Peak section, if you click on that, the first thing that's going to pop up is Guild events. And that's where everything's going to be, is in that forum page. I also spam a lot of links on Twitter, so if you haven't followed me yet, I would recommend doing that so you can just have easy access to the events you want to participate in or find out more information. I think that's all I have for right now, guys. I will see you in 2 weeks. I'll also be in the meet and greet tonight after they're converted. If you ever have any questions, like I said, get a hold of me. We have a lot of fun things coming up. Other than that, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
She did an awesome job with that video. You okay, Sal?
Sorry. Belsnickel was making faces at me
That's not true.
during the video.
That's not true at all. No, man, Torres did an awesome job. She did a fantastic job. I appreciate her doing that, and we look forward to get one of those every episode. She's really nice. So, Sal, you got any announcements coming up? What's going down? What's coming up in the Convert to Raid Guild?
Yes, announcements. Okay, anyone with any ideas about how the CTR community can, how the officers can serve the CTR community better, just hit them up on ctrofficers@gmail.com. All right. There is a town hall meeting coming up. The CTR Guild Town Hall will be on February 9 at 5 o'clock server time. 5 o'clock server? Already.
Yep.
So, yeah, that, the
8 p.m. Eastern.
town halls are really good to go to. The officers in there, you get to talk, you get to ask questions. I find them. I go and take notes. I have a little notepad when I go in, so we get a lot of stuff done. Remember, there is the meet and greet right after the show in the Mumble channel called Meet and Greet for the CTR Mumble. Okay. Let's see. Daries' cat has lit himself on fire, it seems. Another good one. Alrighty. And then, let's talk about our mission.
Well, we're booked out right now for about, I think, four episodes. But we want to get as many people from this guild on this show. This show is all about you guys. I mean, we want to get everybody. Like, if we're here like 10 years from now doing this show, we want to have had thousands of guests from the guild to be on the show. So if you have something to talk about, just let us know. email, tweet us, whatever. But we want to get you on the show. So definitely, man, get involved, guys, because we want to hear from people. We want to get to know people, and this is all about you guys.
No, okay. As the person who makes those plans, I'm going to say send it to the email address convertedpodcast@gmail.
Listen to Sal. Belschnickel has no idea what's going on. Sal is who you really want to be listening
we
to.
need it in one place, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Email.
If you tweet at us, I'm just going to say email us. But yeah, we really do want people on. We have the next couple of months planned, which is amazing. And you know who our guest is going to be next week? It's going to be Spencer HD.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, who's another officer, and he's in communications.
He was instrumental in getting our BlizzCon episode off. We were at a BlizzCon.
Instrumental? Without him, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it would have been kind of ugly.
It just wouldn't have happened. And
sorry, guys.
we're looking forward to that, and we have a few topics to talk to him about that with. So I'm excited to get Spencer on here finally. We have Rex coming up in a few weeks. We have Megacode coming up, and we could have you. So let us know. I did get an email just last night. So here we go. Do let us know about that. Navox, I think you have something you want to say?
I do. It's time for chat room shout outs. Chat room, get your shout outs in and we'll read them on the air. Type them in down here and we will get them and read them on the air.
Okay. Okay, and for our regular converted shout-outs, you can head to our forum page, and anyone who wants to have us shout out on the show, maybe you're not in the chat room, maybe you're on Twitter or something like that, or maybe you're listening to us on iTunes or Stitchers, maybe you're watching the YouTube feed. That's fine. Just send us a message on the forum. We have a forum for that, for the converted shout-outs, and we'll read them on the show. So right now, let's go for our regular shout-outs. Belschnickel, who do you want to shout out?
I want to give a shout-out to two people. Actually, three. Rist, who helped me out with the Hearthstone stuff last week. If you guys haven't been to our YouTube page, check that out. He did some stuff with me on Arena for Hearthstone. A lot of fun. Really knowledgeable guy. Sushi, who we mentioned earlier, for filling in for our raid team last week. And one of my raiders has been kind of sick, and he's going to miss our raid this week. Shifting Eden. He's one of my tanks, so I want to give him a shout out, let him know we're thinking about him, and we hope to get him back next week. But yeah, he hasn't been doing too well. He's been a little sick, but he'll be back, and I wanted him to know that we're thinking about him. We'll miss him for our raid this week.
Okay, I want to shout out to Black Claw. She is a brand new guildie, brand new, and you know what? I was in Mumble, she was talking, and I said, I need someone to run me through a dungeon so I can level up my DK, which I don't know why I'm doing at all. But I am. It's a level 85.5 DK. And she ran me through Stonecore several times, even though she never got a mount. She's a brand new guildie, barely been in CTR at all. So I think she's going to be there tonight at the meet and greet. So Black Claw, thank you very much.
Welcome,
it's
Black
cool.
Claw.
Yeah, welcome to the guild. It's awesome.
Yeah, all these new people coming in, and they're like, hey, I want to get involved. Awesome. You can get involved in leveling my DK. So no, that was really sweet of her. We had fun, and I got to know her a little bit better. So yeah, she's hanging out in Daries dance party sometimes.
That's
so
awesome.
That's nice. Alrighty, Navox.
All right. I know I sound like a broken record. I always give a shout out to the Boats and Hosen crew, my raid team. I love raiding with you guys. Also, Rex for taking my wife and I, severely undergeared, through a normal Immersius kill.
Nice.
And then this week, Elric, my raid leader, a good friend of mine, was helping me with my rogue, the legendary quest on my rogue. So I'm now up to the Titan runestone. So I'm on the home stretch of that. So hopefully I'll be able to get some more DPS out of that rogue.
Awesome.
So I'm going to actually start with, we got a forum shout out I'll start out with from Catacodex. Shout out to McGregor, Elric, Peroxide, I hope I said that right, and Sweet Lily for helping the fellow guildmate with a war game for their cloak. Yay, community.
There's another one on the site. I've got it. It's from Jade. It says, shout out to, We White from front to back and Honey Badgers, both 13 out of 14 and working on Garage. Grats to X-Rated. We made it to the third flex this week, even with all the spicy water flowing. Great, fun, relaxing group and meeting lots of new guildies. I'm having to turn people down, but glad people are having fun. Yeah.
Another one from Kata. Shout out to the Salad Senate for letting me pug in with their garage progression last week. Love you guys.
Aw.
And then Chief Vol'jin. Shout out to Bane for backing the rebellion since the beginning of ET.
That's awesome.
Alrighty.
That's actually
You know
kinda
what,
awesome.
guys? I actually want to thank Kata Codex. She is our moderator for our chat room, and she's been doing a great job with that. So far, she's had nothing to really moderate that I know of.
That's a
She
good
hasn't
thing.
had to
That's
lay
good.
the smackdown, but she does have the sword. She is the one equipped with a sword in our chat room. So if you ever,
She will cut you.
I also want to give a shout out to that random geek who's been feeding us the questions
That's right.
off in Skype here. So sometimes the chat room goes by so quickly we can't really get all of the questions set up. So he
But
was
that random
feeding
geek
it to
did
us.
help us out this week, and that
Yep.
made it a lot.
It was
smoother, so
awesome.
cool.
Thanks, man.
Okay. Well, here we go. Be sure to catch us next week when we interview Spencer HD.
Should be fun, man. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, yeah. And you can catch us on Stitcher. You can catch us on iTunes. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Guys, make sure you guys come over to the meet and greet. If you're in the chat room, obviously, if you're listening to this on iTunes and Stitcher, it'll be done by then. But if you're here and listening, catch us in Mumble, and we're gonna get to kind of meet some people and hang out for a little bit. So thanks for coming out, guys. We appreciate it. The guys listening to us, we appreciate you guys listening, taking the time out, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and we'll catch Spencer HD.
Yeah.
Should be
Thanks
fun.
for coming.
All right, guys, thanks for coming
Thanks,
out.
guys.
All right, peace.
You can follow us on Twitter at converted_CTR.
And be sure to follow us on our YouTube channel, Converted Podcast.
Also, follow us on our Twitch channel, Converted Podcast, and join us live every other Monday at 7 p.m. server.
You can follow me at summer_sal, Navux at NavuxCTR, and Belschnickel at BelschnickelCTR.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?